How much is Wilson to blame?
Not so much. And by the way, he had him within a score toward the end of the third quarter, right? Late in the third quarter, the game's within a score. It felt like it should have been a blowout by then. Here's the difference. After getting through with saying Tom Brady gets credit and wins, he deserves blame and losses, I'm not going to do the same thing with Russell Wilson right now, but I want to be very clear why. I have Casey Joyner, the football scientist, on the radio show, the Max Kellerman show on ESPN Radio, 2 p.m. Eastern. And he told me a very interesting thing several weeks ago, that the Kansas City Chiefs want to avoid shootouts. What? With all those weapons, they want to avoid shootouts? In fact, that's the best chance for the other team to win. It's hard to consistently win shootouts in the NFL. Like, among the really good teams, mostly they're not winning through shootouts. That's why when they give KC room to run the ball because they want to pass protect, okay, go ahead and give it to Hilaire and do your thing, right? Russell Wilson's being asked to win shootouts every single week. And he's doing a damn good job of it. But you're not going to win every single game throughout the course of a season in a shootout. And Jamal Adams hasn't been healthy at times, and I expect, you just get him back. I expect him to play better. I expect him to make a difference overall on the defense. But Russell Wilson every single week is facing an opposing quarterback who's going to hang 30-plus on the defense. He's being asked to score 40 points a game. And when you do that, particularly when you're playing another team who can do it on offense but has a really good defense and they're constantly putting pressure on you, you have a choice to make. Do you want to play it safe and lose little by little, or do you want to take some shots to try to actually win, especially when that's the job description? Russell, here. Our defense ain't going to be able to stop much, right? We need you to win shootouts. Aaron Rodgers is not asked to do that. Patrick Mahomes is not asked to do that. Tom Brady and Drew Brees are not asked to do that. The young guys, the old guys, the running guys, Lamar Jackson's not asked to do that. Only Russell Wilson. And so at times when he falters, meaning he got him within one score late in the third, but ultimately it was too much, I ain't going to kill him too bad on the air the next day.
Yeah, it's not about killing Russell Wilson, but you got to remember, this is also what Russell Wilson wanted, right? He's trying to copyright Let Russ Cook. Because this is who he wanted to be. Russell Wilson felt like he was Mr. Unlimited, that he can do all things. And so we can't just let him totally off the hook, because this is where Russell Wilson wanted his trajectory to go. Russell Wilson cares that he's never gotten an MVP vote. Russell Wilson believes that he should get those things. And so he relishes in these moments. These are the moments that he wants. But here's where Max is right. Russell Wilson never gets a free throw. Right? You can watch a guy all day shoot free throws and make them. They keep going in. But then you put 1 second on the clock, you put them down by 2, and you ask him to shoot those free throws, and they're totally different. That's where Russell Wilson is. Every time Russell Wilson drops back to pass, it's a pressure-packed situation. It's a situation where he knows if he doesn't come through, if he doesn't make the plays, that his defense won't stop anybody. The Seattle Seahawks right now have given up the second most yards through 8 games in the history of football. That's not this year. That's not last year. That's since football's been played. The only team to ever give up more through 8 games, believe it or not, were the 2012 Seattle Seahawks. And so when you look at this team and you're trying to project and watch them play against the New Orleans Saints and say, can they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Green Bay Packers? They can't, because they know that Russell Wilson is going to have to make every play. So you put that pressure on him as a defense. As a defense, you put pressure in his face. You make him make plays outside of the pocket. And he can do it for a quarter. He can do it for 2 quarters. But eventually, it's going to crack. And will anybody on this defense make a play? I think Pete Carroll doesn't believe that they will. Jamal Adams comes back, and he's the most vibrant, he's the most energetic player on the defense yesterday, and he's been out injured for weeks. And so when you look at this team and the way that they're constructed and the pressure that is being put on Russell Wilson, it's going to make him play himself out of the MVP talk, right? He's going to get to a position where he's not over Patrick Mahomes. He's not over Aaron Rodgers. Even Josh Allen will move back into the conversation. Right, and move back into the conversation. And so right now, when you look at Russell Wilson, is he one of the best? Yeah. Can he overcome what's going on in Seattle? I don't believe so. This game isn't totally on Russell Wilson, but this is what he wanted. This is what he was asked to do. And he had a game yesterday with no top running backs, and we saw what could happen when we play against an opportunistic Buffalo Bills defense.
Well, I'm not going to say
I'm not going to say it's entirely what he wanted because I think that Russell Wilson would like a better running game. You'd like somebody that can convert a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 short yardage situations because that was Carson's specialty, but he wasn't there. So as a result of that, your running game is a bit hampered. He's going to throw the football. He's obviously got weapons of DK Metcalf and obviously Tyler Lockett and Greg Olsen up in there. But the bottom line is, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, usually you usually had a better defense. Their defense is horrible. You can do anything against their defense. You can pass on them all day long. That was a problem. That's why Josh Allen looked like the second coming of Joe Montana, Dan Marino, or damn it, Aaron Rodgers, whatever way you want to pick it. But the flip side to it is that, again, they've always had a running game to buffer that defense, and you don't have that this year right now at this particular moment in time. I think if Russell Wilson had his druthers, he'd have it all on the offensive side of the ball. He'd be able to run the football as well as throw the football. Right now, they can only do one thing. That's why they got the #1 offense with the #1 passing attack, but they rank like 14th or 15th in their rushing attack, and I think that's what's hampering them right now. That's why I don't have them as the best team in the NFL.
Let's keep in mind what Seattle did. Remember the trade they made when they brought in Jimmy Graham originally, going back years already? They thought, we don't have to devote that many resources to the offensive line. We can draft and develop. We can find deals in the draft lower on and figure out some free agents and develop an offensive line. And that was disastrous because he really had very little line protection for several years, right? Everyone talks about the transition from the defensive-oriented team to the offense, but while they were doing that, they really neglected the line. But that's been better recently, the last couple seasons. That's what it looked like yesterday. It looked like they didn't really have an offensive line again because they were being handled by the Bills' defense. And that's Russell Wilson facing a really good team with something that didn't look like so much of an offensive line. I want to emphasize again, still got his team in a position where they're down 1 score in the 3rd quarter of a game that felt like a blowout. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.